Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Congratulations to all the finalists. Today, we have invited 5 honorable professionals as our panel of guests. Our first judge is Mr. 𝗙𝗧𝗖𝗛𝗡. Mr. Faisal is the head of DevOps Engineering at Petronas Digital Sdn Bhd. Next, our second judge is Mr. 𝗙𝗂𝗂𝗏. Mr. 𝗙𝗂𝗏 is the Director of Enterprise Application of FusionX Group. Next, our third judge is Mr. 𝗙𝗁𝗏𝗏. Mr. 𝗙 is the Senior Manager of Research and Development from Vitrox. Then, our fourth judge is Mr. Clayton Narcis. Mr. Clayton is the Head of Mobile Application Development and Strategy who currently works on Pixlr. Lastly, we have Mr. Phua Yong San. Mr. Phua is an experienced senior lecturer at Taylor's College with multiple professional qualifications. Now, I believe everyone has known our judges, who are Mr. Faisal, Mr. 𝗙𝗂𝗏, Mr. 𝗙, Mr. Clayton, and also Mr. Phua. In today's pitching session, there are altogether 5 teams, and each team will be given 10 minutes to pitch. The remaining time reminder will use bell rings. After that, it will be an 8-minute Q&A session with the judges. Now, let us see who will be the first team to pitch today. Alright, our first team to pitch is Team Community. Okay, so Team Community, are you ready to start?
Yep.
Yes.
Okay, so your 10 minutes starts now.
Hi everyone. Today, we are here to show you our proposed solution on community safety. Did you know that 1 in every 800 Malaysians have encountered crime incidents? The Department of Statistics Malaysia reported 65,000 crime cases during the pandemic year of 2020. Very often when faced in an emergency, individuals will call the authorities to provide their location, details, and wait for help to arrive. But the reality is that every minute a person waits, their risk of getting harm increases significantly. Based on a survey we've conducted, which consists of working adults, stay-at-home individuals, students, and elderly, we were able to identify community safety pain points of 248 residents, such as inconsistent visitor verification process and the time lag to contact security guards. With safety as a priority for all lives, our question is, how can we help boost the security of Malaysia residents? Allow us to present to you Community, a one-stop community management and safety platform specifically designed for Malaysia residents to bridge the security gap in the country. Our vision is to foster safe communities where Malaysians can live effortlessly without a worry. The community app has 4 key features, each implemented with a touch of security. The first feature is visitor management with QR authentication, where security guards can validate visitors through one-off generated QR codes. The second feature is an emergency button with ranked priority assistance to provide the best immediate help for the rescuee. Alternatively, users can also shake their device to activate the emergency button with a tailored emergency motion detection trigger. Whenever the emergency button is triggered, the incident recording feature will be activated to capture surrounding video and audio. In addition, we also have features for community management, such as resident management, bill management, as well as announcements. Now, let's look at Ali's journey with the community app during an emergency. When the emergency button is activated, the incident recording feature is triggered instantly. Security guards in Ali's community and close contacts will be alerted for help to be on the way. Ali can continue to provide live updates on his surrounding environment and will be notified when help has arrived. The community app will be an immediate relief for residents in distress for its convenience and quick response. Let's take a closer look at how the community app works in this demo.
The primary feature of this app is our emergency button feature, which can also be triggered by shaking the phone. There will be a 5-second interval for the resident to cancel the help in case of accidental shakes.
So on the guard's phone, the guard will receive a notification that notifies the guard about any available information of the resident and the current situation.
After help is requested, the resident's phone will start to record the location, voice, and video of the surrounding, which can be used as evidence later. While waiting for the help to arrive, the resident can provide important information about his surrounding, which will be reflected on the security guard's phone.
On the guard side, the guard can press the I'm on my way button and proceed to the resident's house, where there will be a live tracking of the guard's location to guide him until he reaches the resident's house. As the guard reaches the resident's house, he can press the I have arrived button, and the app will wait for further updates on whether the resident is safe or further assistance from police is needed.
The emergency help button can also be accessed through this emergency help page, which will get immediate help for the resident. Besides, residents can manage their visitors in visitor management page. They can register for new visitors, which will generate a QR code. This QR code will be used by security guards as reference later.
On the scan page for guards, the security guard can then scan for the generated QR code and verify the visitor and choose to reject or accept the visitor from entering the housing area. Additionally, the guards can choose to manually add the visitor through the visitor page and entering the visitor's name, car plate number, and the address of the resident which the visitor wishes to go to.
Now that we've seen how the app works, let's move on to our target audience. With a total of 45,000 housing communities in Malaysia, our primary target audience will be landed housing communities, with the highest number of crime cases where majority of the incident areas are unguarded. In addition, 21,000 high-rise housing communities will also be a part of our target group.
We will have 3 revenue streams, which includes a subscription model, where residents get to enjoy the community app with premium features at a monthly subscription fee of 8 ringgit. The second revenue stream are paid advertisements featured on the app by relevant companies. In the futures, we plan to expand our revenue through additional services by partnering with vendors for the convenience and protection of our residents. We have several plans on ways to reach our target customers. The community app will raise awareness through digital marketing channels and leverage on search engine optimizations, as well as online advertisements. We will also educate our audience on community security and personal safety with curated contents, such as video guides and publications. To ensure customer retention and app stickiness, we will push efforts into a network effect where there will be referrals, point systems, and more rewards. This is applicable for both residents and community managers to easily refer the community app to their friends and family. With a price of 8 ringgit per month, this will bring us a revenue of 28,800 ringgit per 300 households in a community annually. The community app will expect to break even by end of year 2 with 27 registered communities. In year 3, a total of 15,300 households will be onboarded into the community app. And by year 4, we'll be generating an estimated annual revenue of 1.4 million ringgit. There are similar models to our community app, but they are usually niched to only one side of the market. Community app ties both market segments and connect our customers into a one-step community management and safety platform, with our mission to implement every feature with a touch of security. By comparing our solution with direct competitors, community app allows users to have an extensive emergency assistance journey with features that comes into place at an affordable price. Our implementation will have 3 key phases that includes a launching phase, the midterm, and the long-term phase. Phase 0 and 1 will focus on elevating the industry and building an existing base of customers. We will begin the first 6 months with app development, followed by an early access launch of the app. The app will officially launch in month 10, and we will kickstart our marketing plan to put efforts into brand awareness. In phase 2, aggressive marketing will take place with continuously improvements for the features and performance of the app. To strengthen our market position, we will release new feature drops in each of the following phases. This will help to bring in additional revenues while continuously increasing the onboarding of communities into the app. In phase 4, we will focus on innovative technological advancements for improved community surveillance. And in phase 5, we plan to roll out public safety features that can be targeted to users outside of community subscriptions. We aim to expand our app and provide greater insights to our users through emerging technologies such as Internet of Things and AI implementations with security analytics. This is our diverse team, and we trust that community will be a revolutionary change for Malaysia's community safety. That is all from us. Thank you. that is all. Yeah.
Okay.
Then it's slide 14. Yeah. So in this slide, we were able to see slide 14 region. Yeah, we were able to see that there is two market segments in this industry, right? There's the safety part and as well as there's the community part. But based on the case study that we're focusing on residents, and we understand that beyond community management, which consists of bill management, resident management, the usual maintenance and all, there is also the safety part that emphasis on and how it comes into play and how residents are being judged, whether if they prefer or not to live in the area. So what community is trying to do is we focus on safety. The reason being is because we want to elevate the lifestyle and well-being of our residents, which is why we believe that safety comes into a very important play, especially when we live together in the same community. Not to mention, our features of trying to enhance the security with our emergency button that is beyond just a click. That our system helps to rank the priority and comes into built-in analytics to further help.
Okay, so that means it's the emergency feature is just merely an alert to the respective party, correct?
It's not just an alert actually. Region, go to the next slide. Because we are aware that in a lot of emergency situation, the victims, they are usually panicking, so they could not track down who is the people, who is the robbers, or they might need to have the evidence to help the police for further investigation later. And that is where our app comes into place, as we also have an emergency incident recording. We record down the voice and the video during the incident.
You guys tried this out to a role play to see whether this would actually work? Can I say it now? Okay.
Oh, yeah, that part.
Yes.
Yeah, because it's I mean it's nice. It's nice to have this, but it's missing, in my opinion, I think it's just missing a few more steps. But I think majority of the households probably won't have it yet. But yeah, I mean, down the road in the future, we probably will have something like this. You won't be taking stuff from your camera, but things around you.
Yeah, so if I may elaborate and further emphasize on that, can we go to slide 19? So as well as our existing base development, which is just the app, right? It has a button and it helps to alert and all. But also into your point of how devices near our surroundings, which is why we also plan to enroll in Yeah, so to answer your question, because of the basis of the case study, we first focus on the residents focus. But as you can see in phase 5, we do plan to expand this app community to the public users because everyone has safety that we need to protect as an app, we believe. That is our mission. So beyond residents that we are targeting, in the future, we will also target public users and eventually commercialize the app to target, as you mentioned, industrial and office networks.
Okay. Did you do a cost comparison in terms how much revenue you'll be able to get in the first year versus a residential cohorts versus commercial cohorts?
So if we go to our projected revenue slide 13, what we're charging the current household is 8 ringgit per household. In regards to the commercial plan and projected revenue, we have not looked into it yet, but it will be not far from this pricing and revenue model.
I think commercial can probably charge more.
Yes, of course.
Yeah, I don't have any more questions. Thank you. Thank
All
you
right,
so much.
Mr.
Good job, by the way.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton, for your words. So we still have time for the Q&A session. Any more judges who want to give your words, you can raise your hand.
Yes, Mr. Hua.
Hi, morning.
Morning.
Yeah. Okay. I think I'm just actually adding on to Mr. Clayton's questions. I think your business model, right, you should actually start off from the business commercial premises, which is actually more lucrative. That is my suggestion. And then on top of that, right, the residential areas, right, and it depends on if there is a gated community, then usually those higher end ones, yes, residents are paying it. But a lot of those housing residential area, right, is not fully gated one. They form their own community. A lot of them actually the resident refuse to pay any subscription to the security if you take a closer survey on it. So that is something that you should consider actually. All right.
As for that, actually, we have also the free feature that in terms of this, we are aiming to bring in not using them, but as a channel to publicize our app. So more people will get to know, even though they are not bringing in the revenue, but as a form of publicity.
Okay, fair enough.
Okay,
Right, I have no
Mr. Hua,
question.
you can.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Welcome.
Hello. I have one question on the initial cost. How do you deduct that? How do you want to maintain that until you reach your first and second phase?
Region, let's go to slide 26. Shinyan, you can take it away.
Yep. So we do have a very basic estimation here. Mainly the main cost over here is the hiring process, where we are hiring the developers during the initial months and the marketings to come up with the plans to go into the market. So this is the costings.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, so time is up for our Q&A session. Any judges have some more questions? So I believe there is no. So that is all for team community. Good job. Now we will spin the wheel to see who will be the next group to pitch. All right, as everyone can see, our second team to pitch is Ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, if you are ready, so your 10 minutes starts now.
Hello, judges. We are from 𝗙𝗓𝗡, and today we are going to propose our HomeCare community of mobile applications with our slogan 𝗘𝗩𝗘𝗥𝗬𝗢. I'm the leader, 𝗤𝗏𝗔 and 𝗤𝗏𝗟 as the sales and marketing researcher, and 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏 as the programmer. As we can see from the graph, property crimes consist of 85% of the index crime in Malaysia. It shows that property crimes are more likely to happen than other crimes. Based on the resources that we found from 𝗥𝗢𝗨𝗡𝗏 and Straits Time, recently 3 men suddenly come over the front wall and broke into the house with barangs in SS2, and also in USJ High, there were 6 robbery cases in just within 5 months. Both of these cases are in the gated and guarded community. Why is this happening? There are some challenges we can observe from there. The first one is the lack of communications between residents of a neighborhood. Property crime, vehicle thief, and housebreaking are the popular crimes in Malaysia, which cause an unease in the residents, and the difficulty in integration's compatibility with gated community management's existing system. There are some pain points, but we will address them alongside our solutions in the next slide. The first pain point is the residents are unaware of the monitoring status of external visitors. Our solutions are capturing the right data at the right time by reporting event with visitors' vehicle in real time and mark vehicles that has passed complaint in neighborhood where all the registered vehicles are stored in our applications database. And the informations between neighborhoods are shared to prevent repetitive crime. The second pain point is the residents do not have clear guidance when in emergency. So we provide a single-click emergency button to call the nearest authorities. And they can learn new security tips every day to have a better prepare for their emergency. And they can contact nearby patrol, and this log data also can make it as evidence that the guards are doing their jobs. And the last pain point is the residents are unable to track if mishap that happen in real time. And we provide real-time update on house monitoring status, and the compilations of all latest reported suspicious event is also provided. HomeCare basically is a subscriptions-based community app for gated neighborhoods that will make the whole neighborhood more secure. Apart from residents, we also provide some values to residents associations. First is the simple security management with less manual tasks, and one-stop management for guard patrol to track the guard working activities and streamline the visitor registrations process. We choose to use Flutter framework to develop our mobile applications, and on the cloud hosting side, we choose to use AWS as it is scalable, cost flexible, configurable, and reliable. Next, we will show a demo video of our applications.
Hi, welcome to a demo of the HomeCare community app. So first off, we log in. Let's assume a situation. We have a friend, his name is called Ali. So Ali wants to order GrabFood. So before his GrabFood driver arrives, he has to do one thing. He has to register the GrabFood driver's details into the system. So he does that by going to the rider visitor registration, entering the After registration, the rider can easily enter the neighborhood as his details has been added to the HomeCare database. So after a bit of time, his food delivery arrives. Ali goes up to take his food delivery, but he sees a suspicious looking vehicle in front of his house. Then after Ali finishes eating, he goes up to go throw the trash, and then he realizes that the vehicle is still there. So just in case, Ali uses the suspicious report function to check the vehicle. So he enters the credentials of the car plate of the vehicle. That's one. And then he takes the car. And then he realizes that the vehicle is not registered into the database, so he submits additional information regarding the event. So now the suspicious event is logged into the system. He can check the status of the report here. As you can see, suspicious vehicle NAS1, and now the status is pending. So after this, the resident association will dispatch some guards to go check out the situation. And then that's all. And then afterwards, let's say that Ali goes on vacation, but he wants to know how his neighborhood, especially how his house is doing. So he can check the incidents report tab to look at the incidences that have happened in his neighborhood in recent times. And then if he wants more detailed information, he can look at the guard patrol route by going to the house patrol. And then this map is updated in real time. So when the guards have completed their patrol, the points will change from red to green. Okay, let's take a break from Ali. Let's say a new gym opened near the neighborhood and they need some customers. So they can actually sign a partnership with the neighborhood association using this app, and then they can include their details of their promotions and stuff like that in the app. So this way, the residents can get to know new businesses opening in the area, while the new businesses can get more customers. And then, okay, back to Ali. Okay, let's say Ali comes back from vacation, then he sees a car parked in front of his house. So he can actually go to the discussion page and say, and then he put a picture of it. And then now the owner of the car, when he sees it, will know he has to remove the car from Ali's house. Ali sees his neighbor pet cat stuck on a tall tree, and he doesn't know what to do. So he can use the emergency button. He can use call, fire and rescue, and then he'll be directed to call the bomba to come and rescue the cat. And then we also have the profile for simple settings. That's all.
Moving on, we'll be talking about the target audience. Our main target market is the neighborhood of Jalan USJ 3/4 in Subang Jaya, Selangor. The reason why we chose this neighborhood is due to its strategic location, which is near the Taipan Business Center. The neighborhood also already has an existing gated and guarded community with an active resident association known as Rukun Tetangga USJ 3/4. We intend to have 3 distinct revenue streams. First, recurring revenue, where it is a subscription-based package dependent on the number of guard houses in the neighborhood. We will charge 1,000 ringgit for every 2 guard houses, 2,000 ringgit for a unique client-specific user interface, and 3,000 ringgit for a one-time registration fee that includes data migration, integration services, and others. Next, the active sales revenue, where we will be providing an advertisement space for local businesses at a cost of 200 ringgit per month through an agreement with management on the event announcement website. We provide the management with a speedier method for receiving payments through payment monetization at a cost of 3.5% per transaction as part of our commission revenue. These are a few of our existing competitors in the Malaysian market, such as Jaga Solution, iNeighbor, and MyTaman. Overall, the competitors did not do very well, as we can see from the user ratings. I'm confident that we can overcome their weaknesses and get a higher rating than them. So, how are we going to assure the long-term viability of our organization? There are 2 ways to accomplish this. First, the customer is king. HomeCare prioritizes the user experience through sufficient pilot testing, accessible customer service, and the incorporation of user feedback into product development. In addition, we will focus on corporate social responsibility to enhance brand image, community participation and awareness, as well as provide discounts for health and safety-related events. Our vision is building a safe, connected, automated, and affordable neighborhood for all. This is our roadmap. We have 3 phases where we are at the first phase now. This phase will last for 6 months, where we try to sustain our company by having a breakthrough in profit and grow as much sales as possible in order for us to reinvest and proceed to phase 2. Phase 2 will last for a year, where we will be growing our company through talent reinvestment, premise setup, and business cooperation to a private limited company. Phase 2 is where we gather the insights from a community app and use it as a stepping stone for our future plan, which is a real estate application. Lastly, it is our phase 3 where we plan to expand to more regions globally, as well as to properly launch the real estate application. Moving on, this is our cost planning for phase 1 with an initial capital of 50,000 ringgit sourced from the Bank Negara Malaysia Fund under the Micro Enterprises Facility Fund. Then we will have one-off payment for compliance fees and application listing fees. The recurring expenses would be the AWS cloud server and payroll for the 3 of us. We also set aside an amount of 5,000 ringgit for risk mitigation uses. Some of the risks we might face are server down and crash or bugs in application. The mitigation that we assessed are having 2 servers in separate availability zones, smoke testing, and pilot testing beforehand. Next, this is our financial projection with a fixed cost of 50,000 ringgit. We aim to pass the break-even point after 2.5 months. This table shows the calculation of how we check our financial viability. We made assumptions based on the previous sales of our competitors. Next. Thank you.
Thank you to the team for
how do you think how can you
Overcome the challenge.
these challenges? Yeah.
So actually, we are planning to have make a pilot neighborhood to try out our application first, and from their feedbacks, we improve our application to make it more easier to use for the other neighborhoods as well. We'll also be doing an onboarding process for the neighborhoods who are joining our program.
Okay, yeah, because based on your presentation, the sound is good, but I think it's almost par with the existing community solutions out there. So can you just summarize the unique selling points that you think stand out from the rest of the applications?
Okay, so our main selling point is actually the emergency button. So it is fast so when you open the app, you can just straight away press the emergency button in case of any emergency. And another selling point is actually the real-time update on house monitoring status by the 𝗙𝗓𝗡. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Hello. So, is there any like a companion app for the 𝗙𝗓𝗡 housing supporting management officers?
I'm sorry, do you mind repeating your question again?
So that you demo on the client side, like on the user side, how about the company side to respond to the emergency? Or is it when you press emergency, it goes straight to the police or something like that, for example?
For this part, actually, we need future development, which we still need more research on this, on how on the 𝗙𝗓𝗡 management application, as well as we only managed to finish the resident part, and we are planning to focusing on the future where the 𝗙𝗓𝗡s can also have an application themselves to actually assist the neighborhood residents. And also for the police station, we will actually collaborate with the closest police station, or even call the closest police station for the 𝗙𝗏𝗻 itself.
So during emergency, the call to the police station will be automatically done by the app itself, or is there like a manual?
Yeah, it will be done by app, and normally maybe the emergency button will just, by general knowledge, will call 999, right? But 999 need to forward to the nearest police station where you stay. But we already predefine all the nearest stations authorities number inside the app, so we just one click, then it will straight direct call to the nearest authorities.
Okay, lastly, how do you plan to support when you roll out to the customer? Because from your cost estimation, I saw just 3 of you, right? What happens when the server is down? Anything happen to the app?
Jingen, you want to talk about the cloud server one?
Okay. So can you repeat that question again?
Yeah, how you plan to support this application when you go live? Because from the cost, just 3 of you.
In terms of like emergencies?
I mean, for example, the server down or something.
Okay, so we are using AWS, right? So we plan to use 2 servers currently because the scale of our application is still quite small. One of them will be the production server. One of them will be the backup server that we implement using AWS Elastic Disaster Recovery. So the backup server will be utilizing the bare minimum resources, and then it just stores so it's just running. And then when the main server goes down, which will probably happen sometime in the future, we will just switch to the backup server and make it the main server currently temporarily until the problem in the main server goes away. Then we can switch back to the production server, or we can just use the backup server as a production server, and then we use the main server, the production server, as the backup server. So it's flexible, and then it's reliable. Because like in Singapore, there is like 3 availability zones, and then we plan to put our servers on different availability zones, of course, so that when disaster actually strikes, it is less likely to strike both of them at the same time. So our application will be able to continue going.
Thank you.
Yes, Mr. Paul.
All right. Okay. Just follow up with Mr. Yap's questions. Now how are you going to actually convince the residents, all right, if they are, because there are some people actually refuse to install apps. All right. So how are you going to actually convince them, or do you have any plan to actually, if those that not installing this app, right? So do you have any backup plans for that? Because it's not easy. Those that not easy in the community, but they don't install the apps, are they being covered inside the protection?
So if they really don't want to use the app, they can actually go to the guardhouse to register there manually, like for the riders and such. They can just register at the guardhouse, but there will be like, it's not optimal lah, but if they really don't want to install the app, that's what they should be doing, because otherwise the whole concept of it doesn't work anymore. So
Yeah,
there will be inconvenience. There will be slightly not that convenient for themselves, but the whole thing can still operate even if they don't want to install the app. And then the guardhouses are usually very close to them anyways, because there are like multiple guardhouses in one area, right? So
not exactly all communities, because there are quite a lot of them. They only have one entry only. All right, there's one, and then so that is questions that what if all right, the communities, there are some of the residents refuse to. You see, most of the time, right, the residents, right, only the one that actually the owner of the house will actually subscribe to it or install, but the rest of the people staying there is not. You see, the family members, not all of them are installed, right? I think that is something that you all need to consider. Okay, that's all for my questions.
Thank you, Mr. Pua, for your question. We will further look into it in the future. Thank you.
Right.
Thank you. Thank you to all the judges who give your words just now. So next, we will proceed to the spinning wheel session and see who is the next team to pitch. AvoCanDo. Okay, so next team, our third team to pitch is Team AvoCanDo. Now, Team AvoCanDo, please present your PowerPoint slide first.
Hello. Can you guys hear me?
Yes, you're audible. Okay.
All right.
Those slides have no problem. Team AvoCanDo, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, so your 10 minutes starts now.
All right. Good morning, I bid to the judges, my fellow participants, live viewers, and the committees of Odyssey Hackfest. My name is 𝗿𝗚𝗏 from the team of AvoCanDo. Now let me present to you our app, the AvoCanDo app that aims to be the one and only facility feedback management app that you would ever need. Before anything else, let me ask the floor a question. As shoppers that go from mall to mall, have you ever faced situations when the toilet is clogged and you do not know where to report? Have you ever gotten super frustrated because the place is out of parking space? I believe all of us have this experience, right? This is why we put our thoughts into action and came up with a brilliant app that can help the management be notified of these faults to improve their service quality, security enforcement, user experience, and most importantly, customer engagement. On the other hand, the country's retail industry recorded a growth rate of 62.5% in the second quarter of 2022, compared to the 18.3% in the first quarter. Now, the question for mall owners: among the growing heaps of competitors, how are we going to make your shopping mall stand out from the rest? Now, we can dismiss all your worries through our three main solutions in the app. Firstly, data analyzation. Through our app, users will be needed to make an account, which will include their basic information. And in most cases, your malls would already come with a membership account. So this account in the app corresponds to that, which means the app can also obtain data from the user's transactions. Through this raw data, it can be transformed to useful information through machine learning to identify the current buying trends and needs among shoppers. Secondly, the centralized system. Aside from having a direct connection between the mall users and the admin, all rundowns of facilities or improvements needed in service can be obtained straight away from the app through feedback by users. By using the Internet of Things, we will also be collecting information from connected devices and centralize them on the app. Now let me go to the third and most important point, the reward system. This point collection system definitely enhances the stickiness of customers to use our app and drive customers to spend in your mall. This is also another way where we collect buyers' data for further analysis to understand their purchase behavior and use the information to lure customers to spend more. Now let's dive into the specific features that we offer through the app. As I have mentioned earlier, we have two types of accounts that are available for login, which are the user account and the admin account. These are the generic features that we offer to the users to improve the mall service, like the emergency button and support service. Allow me to jump straight to the highlights. Our main feature, which will provide convenience to mall users, the real-time parking tracker uses IoT to connect existing sensors in parking lots and transfer the data into the app real-time. With this app, the users can know whether there is parking space at their favorite spot at any time, anywhere, before going to the mall. We also adopt a reward system, as mentioned, which will reward users with 10 points per approved feedback. With the points collected, they can redeem offers like parking discounts and shop vouchers. This is our ultimate plus point among the features because, as we all know, not many people are willing to go the extra mile and fill in these feedback forms. So with this give and take system, users will be more encouraged to fill in constructive feedback and make relevant reports. On the admin side, we offer these 6 features that are as shown. Let me highlight the 2 main features. We have an all-in-one issue and feedback tracking platform that allows admins to manage feedbacks real-time within just a few clicks. Admins can get notified on matters based on urgency and take the appropriate actions to eradicate the problem. Aside from that, what do most feedback forms lack nowadays? Yes, the lack of follow-up and transparency in the solving process after we submit the feedback. With AvoCanDo, admins will be able to update the status of progress by clicking a few buttons that will also be updated on the user's side. Goodbye to fill of feedback forms. Another powerful tool that we offer is the analytic tool that provides the admins an overview of customer demographic distributions and their buying preferences, which helps in the mall's marketing strategy. Regarding the tech stack that is used in our application, we will be using Flutter as our main framework to develop the UI. For our backend operations, we will utilize various Amazon Web Services products to handle our backend tasks, such as Amazon Comprehend and Personalize for machine learning and AI integration, Amazon IoT Events and Analytics for IoT integration, Amazon QuickSight for data visualization, and others. Next, I'll pass the floor to 𝗙𝗩𝗘 to explain more on the business and marketing strategy.
Thank you, Wei-En. Customer feedback is important. Why? Every time we want to go to a place, we will do background checking about the service, the menu, their review, etc. It's too much hassle to keep going back and forth to check the reviews for other shops on search engines. We target shopping malls, supermarkets, retail stores, and restaurants to be on our app. Firstly, they can gain valuable feedback to improve their facilities. On the other hand, it creates convenience to the users. Let's talk about our business model, 𝗙𝗏𝗏. We provide a centralized facilities feedback management system and a platform to give feedback and gain real-time updates on the progress. Our key activities include mobile app development, marketing activities, and client liaison. Therefore, software developers and AI experts are the key resources to deliver our value proposition. Hence, we are going to work closely with the key partners such as business analytics organizations, programmers to further improve our products and reduce our cost. Moving on to the market segments, we are targeting companies who aspire to improve their facilities and services to further retain their customers for a sustainable business. For the target areas, we initially focus on several states in Malaysia, which with the greatest number of malls such as Selangor, Kuala Lumpur, and Johor, before expanding to the global market. AvoCanDo is implementing a business-to-business marketing strategy, and we will earn profits by implementing these revenue models. Firstly, funding. Funding is necessary to hire app developers and AI experts to start up our project, maintain the system, and to ensure the project quality. With continuous maintenance and improvement, our project will break into a bigger market and generate more revenue in the future. Secondly, we'll have 3 subscription models, which are the Starter Pack, Enterprise Pack, and Custom Service model. Our Starter Pack and Enterprise Pack provide feedback analytics and parking spaces tracker to our clients. A 1-month free trial will be provided for them to experience and understand our app, so they will be attracted to use our app for the long term. Our customers can also choose the Custom Services model if they want to enjoy more customized features for their business. Our third revenue model is the app advertisements. The advertisers such as shopping mall outlets can make paid advertisements on our app about their upcoming events, promotions, and newly released product highlights, which would draw customers to patronize their store. The ads will be shown at the most eye-catching location, which is on our main page. Business owners who set up ads in our app can push their revenue and increase their brand awareness. Moreover, app advertising leads to a word-of-mouth marketing, making our app users their biggest promoters. As for our cost structure, we will invest 60% of our startup cost for development team wages and the rest for the other expenses such as marketing activities, tools, and many more. For the annual fees in the upcoming years, we aim to spend 80% on our cloud services and other 20% for the software maintenance and support. This is our revenue growth chart. We need 500K for our startup capital, and we expect to have a positive net income growth in the 3rd year. After that, our net income will grow exponentially due to high demands as we reach the global market. According to our competitor analysis, the AvoCanDo app stands out from the rest because it provides many exceptional features that can help companies to improve their feedback management system, such as the parking space tracker, SOS emergency call features, and the exclusive reward system. As for the market size, we aspire to generate at least 1.6 million of revenue by rolling out our app to our target audience in Malaysia before expanding to global markets. What is next for AvoCanDo? We aim to get our first 300 clients and expand our target market to various industries such as hotels, banks, and airports in the next 3 years. We will also streamline the user interface to better accommodate new features. Moreover, we aim to build more partnerships with the shops and companies as well. Through the app demo shown, customers can use the reward points to redeem the vouchers provided by our partners. Our partners can also gain in-depth real-time insights of our customer analysis as their benefit in this partnership. Lastly, allow me to present to you the creative minds behind this innovative project, the AvoCanDo team. Avo can do anything you want. That's all from us. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you to Team AvoCanDo for your interesting pitch and the slides. So I believe our panel judges have something to ask. Dear judges, you can click on the raise hand icon first before we call you upon for a Q&A session. Please wait before the MC, which is me. Later, I will cue the judges for Q&A session. Okay, now we can see Mr. Clayton has raised his hand. So Mr. Clayton, the floor is yours.
Right. Hi guys, morning.
Good morning.
Quick question. I saw ML. What are you actually predicting in one of your earlier decks? Can you go back to your, I think slide number 3 or number 4 itself? And you say that you're going to use machine learning to do prediction. So just curious, what will you be predicting?
Before that.
Yeah, earlier some more. Yep. The up in front. Before this. Yep. Top. Yeah. So this is the problem statement. Use machine learning to analyze data, yada yada, and predict. So what are you predicting over here?
Yes, actually for our app, we are actually implementing the machine learning to analyze the data from our customer, the customer of our clients. So it's actually mainly using the supervised learning since the data collected are mostly labeled. So the such as the classification, also the regression algorithm will be used. So for the classification wise, the support vector machines will be trained and used to classify the user's preference and also the customer preference, and also buying power through the details we collected. And also for regression wise, we will use the linear regression to actually find out whether there is a correlation to different aspects of the customers. For example, their location and also the age of users, their shopping behavior, their buying behavior. So all these things will be collected into our database. And after that, by using this machine learning algorithm, we can actually our unsupervised learning will use for recommendation of the store discount or promotion to the customers based on their reason, interest, or their buying preference. Yeah, so that is why it's useful.
So another follow-up question: where are you going to get the purchase data from?
The purchase data is from our clients, which is like our shopping malls and also the service providing business. When they are using our app to actually use the feedback management system, actually when the customer, like when they sign up for using our app, the customer is the customer of the clients. When they need to sign up our app to use to give feedback and many more. So through that, it's actually in a way we can collect their data as well, because they will give feedback about the shops in the shopping mall.
Okay, you can get enough training data to train the model.
Yeah. For the training data, actually we will do the partnership with the shopping malls. So if they actually want to more accurate customer analysis, actually we will do partnership with them, and they can provide all those customer data to us as well, so that it will actually benefit them, so that by using all the AIs, they can see the analysis by using our app.
Okay, all right. Another question. So you mentioned there was parking sensors. Who owns the parking sensors infrastructure?
The parking sensor infrastructure is actually owned by the shopping malls, because nowadays, like we went to the shopping malls, we actually can see the red light and green light to sense that there is car or there is no car at the parking space. So actually we can implement all the sensors into our app, so that actually it will be like transferred into online using the IoT integration. So like for the customer, it will like really make the customer convenience, because they can see whether there is the parking slots in the shopping mall before they're actually going to the shopping mall, so that it won't be so much hassle for the customers.
Oh, so if it's owned by a third-party vendor like SecurePark, then how are you going to get the data?
The parking space sensor is actually owned by our client. If they want to actually implement it, integrate it into our app to have these kind of features, so they need to provide us the sensor data to us, so that we can integrate into it.
Okay, thanks. Sorry, I got a few more questions. Hang on, I don't want to hold up too long. You mentioned you're going to track points. How do you intend to track points? Can you walk me through the actual user journey for that?
Yep, I think I will let Wei En to take this question.
Sure.
All right, so as I explained just now, our main aim for the reward system is actually to encourage the users to use feedback forms and also to continue to use our app. So since it is focused on feedback forms, we will be giving the reward points based on the kind of feedback that they give and whether it is approved by the management or not. So the basis is that one approved feedback form will give the customers 10 points. And then based on the accumulated points, they will get like different tiers, different levels. And then on the main page, they can see all those vouchers, parking discounts, and they can use their accumulated points to redeem all those rewards.
So the incentive for me as a shopper is to go and find problems in the mall so I can get vouchers.
So that's why it's mentioned that it has to be approved, because we do understand that there would be some customers that just to with the aim to earn points, they would give like irrelevant feedbacks, or they would find fault which is actually not there. So it has to go through a whole process, because our feedback form, it will be like submitted by the users, and then the admins will also have to look through it and then go through the whole progress and make sure that it is settled. So once it is settled and the feedback is approved, they will get the reward points.
Okay, all right. I'm good. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton, for the sharp questions. Any judges have any words in your mind? You can ask the questions still to the team.
Morning, team. Can you please showcase your demonstrations?
Can Dixon move back the slides? Our demonstration is integrated on the slides.
Pardon?
Our demonstration is in a video form on the slides. So can Dixon scroll back? Can you go to the user slide? Yeah, so as mentioned, we have two types of login. So this is the interface that the user would have. And on the left is the parking space tracker. And on the right, you can see a profile page. And on the bottom, there's a feedback submission that you can press inside, and you will have all the status and all. So like the profile page, you will see a green one for ventilation system broken. That one is considered as resolved. So on the user side, they can see the status of the feedbacks. And on the most right on the screen, you can see on the main page, you have rebates and vouchers, which you can redeem with the points. And then two slides forward. So this is what you can see as the admin. May I continue?
Yes, you may continue.
All right. So on the left, you can see there is like a whole list of feedback forms, and it is also arranged based on the urgency. So the red ones is urgent, and it will be on the top. And you can go in and change, like whenever the feedback is solved, then you can change the status on there, and then it will send a message to the user. And the user's side, the status will also update. And on the right is the data statistics, which is came through our machine learning as mentioned just now. We can get like what kind of feedback types that is most submitted by users, which actually points out what is the problem that you had in your mall. Also, the users' data statistics on their demographic distributions, like age, like where are they from, and all. Yeah. That's all from me.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you to the judges and all the team members of AvoCanDo. So the Q&A session for Team AvoCanDo has ended. Now we will start again with the spinning wheel session to see among these two teams who is the first one to pitch. Okay, as everyone can see now, Our fourth team to pitch is Pink Panther, and without doubt, the last team will be the remaining one. So now, Team Pink Panther, you can start to present your PowerPoint slide first.
All right, thank you. So, a very good morning, everyone. My name is 𝗙𝗬𝗡𝗔𝗟 and we are group.
Sorry
Sorry?
to disturb. Okay, sorry to disturb. Yeah. So I will let you know the time that you can start pitching. So for now, let us bear with us some minutes so that the technical team will ensure there is no problem. And then I will cue you that you can start now. Then your team may start. Okay.
All right. All right.
Okay. Okay, so Team Pink Panther, are you ready to start?
Yeah.
Okay, if you are ready, so your 10 minutes starts now.
A very good morning, everyone. My name is 𝗙𝗬𝗡𝗔𝗟 and we are group Pink Panther. Now I'm going to start the presentation by introducing our application named 𝗙𝗧𝗎 with the motto Rising Hill. The case study that we have chosen is mental health. So here's an introduction to our team. We have Ming Shen as our leader, Qi Chen as our challenger, whereas I'm the thinker. So for starter, here's some interesting facts that we found from the internet. It shows that Malaysia is considered as one of the 3 remaining Asian countries that still criminalize suicide, and there are 1,081 suicide cases in 2020. Yeah, now I'll be talking about the pain point, which is the main problem faced by the individuals with mental health issue. We found that most of the mental health issues are caused by a sense of loneliness. As time passes, the individuals who keep their emotion under wraps are more likely to face the risk of depression, increased stress level, and also the misuse of some substances. So furthermore, there are 2 other challenges encountered by the individuals. The first one is the issue of lacking awareness on mental health issue, and the other challenge will be the uncontrollable emotion. So for all these issues that I mentioned just now, our solution is the 𝗙𝗎𝗡 application, which combines the features of community interaction, web resources, meditation timer, and also mood tracking function. So next, 𝗙𝗎𝗡 have 5 features in total. The main features falls under our Galaxy features. This feature gives the user a virtual space to express their thought by shooting a star, and user also can respond to other people's thoughts by using catch the star function. There are also other features such as article viewing, podcast listening, meditation timer, as well as mood tracker. So for the article and podcast feature, are mainly targeting on the individuals who lack of knowledge in mental health issue, while the Galaxy features are designed for those who constantly feel lonely. Meditation timer is more likely for the individuals who are unable to control their minds, whereas the mood tracker is designed for those who lack of awareness in mental health issue. So that's all for me. I will pass the floor to Ming Shen.
Okay, my name is Ming Shen, and I will continue with the 𝗙𝗎𝗡 technological section. There are multiple 𝗙𝗎𝗡 technological benefits, such as high potentiality, as our app can be used by all types of individuals, not just our target audience. The next benefit is scalability. We will make sure that our app servers will not go down even when the number of users increases. The final 2 benefits are reliability and flexibility, in which we will make a backup of user information in the Firebase, and we'll update the application from time to time. So in this slide, I will discuss the programming language that we use to develop our app, which is called Dart on the Flutter framework. The reason that we use them is due to the multiple benefits, such as the ease of code understandability compared to other languages, and there's also a hot reloading feature which increases, which means that we can make changes to the code, and the changes will be automatic in the app. Next, we are also able to combine our application with Google Firebase for storing user data. And last but not least, our app can also run on both platforms in iOS and Android. So now I'll be explaining the business model of 𝗙𝗎𝗡. In 𝗙𝗎𝗡, there are 4 target audience. First, which is the most important ones, are individuals aged between 10 to 25. This age range is also known as Gen Z. I believe everyone at this age went through the stage where we would rather keep our own feelings instead of telling others, which is where our 𝗙𝗧𝗏 feature also comes in handy. And the second target audience are individuals who have low income or are unemployed, especially the B40 group with household income lower than 3,000 ringgit. Third is individuals with personal issues such as divorce or health troubles. And the last target audience are individuals facing addictions such as drugs, alcohol, or sexual content. So next, I'll be talking about our revenue stream. There are two ways to earn revenue: through subscription from users and in-app advertising from sponsors. There are three types of subscription packages: 1 month, 3 months, and 6 months. Once the user subscribes to our app, there will be no more ads appearing and they can enjoy more features like mood tracker statistics. For the other side, we will cooperate with mental health organizations for in-app advertisements, which means all the ads that will appear on our app is related to mental health. We estimate that our total revenue per year would be 50,000, and we believe that our revenue will keep growing up rapidly year by year. 40% of our revenue will come from subscription and 60% will come from sponsors. So as for our cost structure, there are 4 types of expenses once our app is launched. First, the development cost is for researching to develop and integrate new features like AI chatbot. Second is maintenance costs. Since our plan is to launch at iOS and Android platforms, any updates will require payments to them. And third, our app users, once our app users grow to a certain point, we will subscribe to a paid cloud service in Firebase called Blaze Plan, which can handle more user information. And last but not least is marketing costs, which we will try to find some influencers to introduce our app on social media such as Instagram and Facebook. Now I'll pass it on to 𝗙𝗏𝗡𝗅.
I am 𝗙𝗏𝗡𝗅 and I will continue the rest of the slide. After doing research on the current market, we found that these 3 are our market competitor, and we have confidence that once our apps launch, we can easily take over them. And this app collect too many sensitive data from the user, which will make the user feel uncomfortable. Next. User experience and marketing activity will be part of how we continue to sustain our business, and we will always make improvement on our app, such as beautify our app user interface and try to add more attractive features like AI chatbot. Then beside that, we will develop our own blog website to promote our app. Then this is our vision, guidance in all aspects of mental health, which means we use our app can solve all the problems that we stated earlier. And this is our future planning, which we will have multiple testing grounds, collect user feedback and make improvements such as UI UX improvement. And we will upgrade our cloud service if necessary so that it can handle large volume of information. And we believe at the year of 2035, our app can be launched globally. Next is our screenshot of our app. And now we will show you our demonstration of our app.
Hi, my name is 𝗙𝗏𝗡𝗅 and I'll be doing a demo of our mobile application, which consists of all functional features. As I open the app, I'll be welcomed with this page first, where I'm given the options to sign up or log in. If a user has no accounts yet, he or she can create a user account through sign up. Then, using the email and password credentials, users can log in to their newly created account. Once users log in, they will be brought to this home page, which welcomes users based on their username. There will also be articles and podcast resources to choose from. They can view more of these resources by clicking on the articles and podcast words. By clicking on one of the articles, users will be brought to the specific article page, and podcasts will do the same as well. On the podcast view, they can simply play, pause the podcast, or slide to the timing they want.
Work focused on optimizing.
Next is our main feature, 𝗙𝗏𝗏𝗏. Users are given 2 options: shoot the star or catch the star. Star in this case means messages. Users are able to express themselves with shoot the star, and they can vent out their problems and struggles. The other users can view this specific message and reply to them. Allow me to switch accounts real quick to demonstrate this. And as you can see here, from a different account, we can see this message and reply to it. Now, going back to the account, the user that posted the message will be able to see the reply from the notification button in the home page. Another feature that we implemented is the meditator timer. which is short for meditation timer. Users can adjust the time they desire for meditation. They can play the timer and there will be background music played. If users prefer to play their own music from other applications or want silence, they can simply mute the music. They can also pause and stop the timer whenever they want. Finally, there will also be a system alarm ringing when the timer ends. So the last main feature of our app is mood, which is for users to track their moods. If users are feeling very sad right now, they can make a log into the app just by pressing record. Then users can head over to the mood log and see their mood recorded there. These mood logs will also keep track of the current date and time of the log. And that will be it for my demo as well as our presentation. Thank you. And so this will be it for our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you to Team Pink Panther for such an creative and wonderful pitch. So like just now, I believe the judges have questions to ask, and you can raise your hand first, dear judges, and then before the Q&A session start, then I will cue you. Any judges would like to project your question to this team? Perhaps Mr. Faisal, do you have anything to ask?
Mr. Clayton, you raised your hand.
Okay, so let's invite Mr. Clayton.
Right. Morning, guys.
Yeah, good morning.
A few questions. So how do you plan to reach the B40? And that is your intended target market, right?
Yeah. So what we are planning to do is to hold more marketing activities. I believe we did mention in the sustainability slide, where we'll try to host more marketing campaigns such as like free mental health screening or meetups or motivation talks. And this is a way that we're going to try to attract them.
Okay. You sure they can attend the B40?
We will be offering the marketing, these style of activities for free, so they can come attend whenever they want, for free or charge.
Okay. Yeah, because usually they're very time tight.
Yeah,
they're very tight, and they are usually working during the day at long hours. Okay. Next follow-up questions. Do you think your subscription pricing is okay with the B40? That's 10 ringgit a month. Correct.
We believe that it's in a suitable range because we will be offering the premium pricing also for 1 week trial. So if they think that it's not suitable for them, like if the app, they don't like the premium features, so they can choose to cancel the subscription if they want to.
Did you guys do any survey?
We didn't, but we did conduct a market research about this in relation to our competitors as well, on how they set their pricing.
Okay. So another question on that. They were to purchase a subscription through the app, correct?
Yes.
And if the credit card penetration is low among the B40, how else can you reach them? You want me to repeat the question?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, so assuming that they will purchase the subscription through credit cards, and if they don't have a credit card, how do you plan to monetize?
Nowadays, the Touch and Go e-wallet system is also very popular in Malaysia. So I think that is a way that we can go ahead for allowing payments in subscriptions.
Okay. Okay, yes and no. All right. It is very curious because you're targeting the B40, so you will need to find ways to facilitate that as much as you can. You mentioned your competitors collect sensitive data. How do you know, and what data do they collect?
They collect data like bank account, then address, which means is very sensitive.
They do collect bank account details?
Yep, like when you want to subscribe the app, then they will collect. Like auto renew function, so that they will collect and store at their database.
Okay. All right. So they can't collect your bank data. I just want to be clear with that. There's no way that we can get your bank details. Okay, I'll follow up on the next one. I saw a podcast feature over there. Do you know the cost structure? Have you done the cost structure to be able to maintain that? And you extrapolate against your B40 community. Like, do you know how much you need to pay for streaming costs or download costs, bandwidth, etc., blah blah blah?
So yeah, for the podcast, so for the initial phase, we will try to retrieve some free podcasts from the web resources. But by times go on.
Hang on. Stop there. No, it's not the free podcast. It's your cost, because you need to pay for bandwidth when someone streams something or when someone downloads something. Because I think, can you go back to your cost slide? Because yeah, so cloud service 5,000 ringgit, maintenance. Yeah, so I don't see that that your cloud service is not really. Yeah, so it's 5,000 is your cost.
You mean the podcast cost structure?
Yeah, because you need to stream. So when someone downloads something, someone needs to pay the bill. So most likely, you guys will have to pay the bill.
For now, we haven't have a specific thoughts on the podcast structure, but then we have a backup plan. If let's say our costs are not enough, we will find some angel investor to assist in our costs.
Okay. Last question. Do you think the B40 will like your UI and UX?
Yes, I think they will like it. So mainly our UI UX is based around, because our main color themes are dark color, black and purple. So our idea is to give a mysterious theme. So even though you have mental health issues or whatnot, we plan to so our main feature is galaxy. So we plan to light a star in them. That's our main idea. So I think even though they will might not understand what this means, that is our intention, and we think they will like it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Clayton. Now, Mr. Jakey, you can project your question.
Yeah, it's just curious. So for the Galaxy features, may I know, is there any specific reason why the proposed solution is using the messaging base instead of using the chatbot?
Actually, because we want to prevent some disturbed message. This is not a continuous chat, just a one-time chat thingy. Like I send to one person, and then it's like one-time reply. It's not like continuous chat, so that we can prevent some unwanted message or disturbed message. So I can add on why we will implement these features is because for me, or I believe some of us might have the same experience. Personally, I have the experience of not really want to share my privacy with someone I'm close to, because I scared they will get worried or judge me. So some minor things can actually be solved by just a simple comfort. So that's why rather than talking to my surrounding people or keeping it, I feel like Galaxy will be a good way to throw out the thoughts and express them.
Another point is that what makes it better than AI chatbot is that because human and to human interaction, we tend to be able to relate with other humans more compared to AI chatbot. So I think this is one of the main advantages of, and also why we chose to do Galaxy instead of implementing a chatbot instead.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Mr. J.K. and Mr. Clayton. So this ends for the Q&A session with Team Pink Panther. Now let us welcome the last team, which is, okay. Before that, Mr. J.K., do you have anything? I saw you raise your hand.
No more, thank you.
All right, okay. Okay, without further ado, last team, Team Remote Coders. So Team Remote Coders, you may present your PowerPoint slide first. Team Remote Coders, are you ready to start?
Yes.
Okay, so if you are ready and good to start, your 10 minutes begins now.
Hello everyone, I'm Kamal and this is Hardeep and we are from Remote Coders, and our app we are going to present is the blockchain. This blockchain basically is built using the Hyperledger Fabric framework. Next, and for an effective treatment of patients who require interconnectivity between hospitals, because there are reasons where there are times when the patients have to transfer from one hospital to another hospital, and basically due to the lack of tools or technologies within the hospital. So an effective healthcare integration is always underpinned by clinical information transfer that is timely, legitimate, and relevant. Next, so the problems we have focused on are basically how can we actually register patients digitally and secure records without much effort? How can we actually share the patient record? How can we actually transfer the records without any tamperment or hacking or any lose of any information? And fourth one is basically how can we ensure that the record which is transferred from one hospital to another digitally is authentic or not? Is it fake generated or not? So next, this brings to our app called as MediChain, which actually is a decentralized system of tools and technology where the peers or the hospitals are interconnected with each other on a network channel, and each one has a database or ledger which is a copy of every ledger in every hospital. So any tamperament to one ledger should also have the tamperament in the all ledgers. So that means if others do not have the tamperament, that means the record has been tampered with and it is not legitimate or authentic. So our app is basically can promote a transparency between the usage of doctors and patients, and because the doctors do not have to worry about the backend or how it works, because this is how the app is actually designed to. Next, so this is our system development tools and technologies. As you can see, a lot of tools are actually used, but most of them actually are backend tools. These backend tools can be actually very easily deployed in just one to two servers rather than having in separate servers. So the technology we will use is basically is Docker. Docker can host multiple machines together and servers together, and it can integrate together as a blockchain network. And the DB we are using is the 𝗙𝗫𝗏 for storing the records for the this one, and it is secured by the private and public key pair and the encryption systems. Next. So this is a summary of all the implementation tools we used. Next. So our end users are the super admin, the admin, doctor, and the patient. So we can guarantee that no information access is given to any unauthorized person. Basically, the super admin cannot access the records of the hospital or anything like that. So super admin is basically responsible for starting the network or stopping the network, or adding a new hospital into the network, or enrolling or deleting the hospital into the network. And admin is basically the hospital admin. Each hospital admin is managing their own doctors and patients, and a doctor can manage their own patients, and patients are the ones who are our main target as well, one of the target as well. Next. So this is the breakdown of the structure of the records which we'll be storing. So the first one is the details. Then we have the PHR. The PHR is basically the physical health record. That means it can show the common details such as the blood type, diabetic levels, etc. The common details is basically showing the names, etc. And whereas the third one, the EMR, it's the electronic medical record. It's the most confidential document because it is only issued by the doctor. Doctor's prognosis and diagnosis, and it should not be shared to anyone else other than the doctor and the hospital itself, because this record is considered to be as a property of a hospital. So this can be only shared with the permission of the doctor to other hospitals or organizations if they request so. Next. So as I told you before, so we have a blockchain, and it is having hospitals connected to each other in a network channel. So these are like the blocks of the blocks of the chain, which is connected using identity called as the hash. Next. So this is our a bit of high-level diagram of how our app actually works, and this is our Fabric SDK, which interacts with the backend and the front end network. And we have the main membership service provider, that's or the MSP, which has the hospital certification authority. That means HCA is the one which will identify which hospital is which, and is it authentic or is it fake. And then we have the public and private key pair provided to every patient or doctor and entity in the network. Next. So how does the record transfer actually takes place? So this is one of our main features. Okay. So for example, a doctor, there's a patient. A patient is assigned to two or three different doctors in a hospital A, and then hospital B, hospital A wants to transfer this patient to hospital B. So the hospital B will request the records to the hospital A by sending a request parameter by passing the hospital organization name as well as the patient ID. Then the admin of the hospital A will accept the request and forward the request to each of the hospital doctors, and each of the hospital doctor will either accept or deny the request, and then later the patient will accept the request, and later the request is approved and all the stages have been completed, and then this goes to the hospital B. The hospital B then can access the record of the hospital A's patient which has been approved. So these all stages are actually important because it ensures the flow of the authenticity or the security, and as well as if we can check if there's any tamperament with the records or anything. So I will have to show the demo next. Next. Okay, so here we have the doctor login, and then we try to request the patient from the hospital A. So we request the patient from the hospital PPUM, and we type the patient ID QPT3PPUM. It's a patient ID. It can be a passport number or any other unique identification criteria, and this will then we can go to the. So basically, we are trying to log in as different identities. But in real world, there are multiple phones and multiple things. So they can log in and then they can check the notification that if any other doctor from outside organization has requested or not. So then we accept the request. We accept all the doctors. We can either deny or accept all the doctors, and then it will forward the request to that specific doctors. All right. So later, we will log in as the individual doctors of that hospital A, hospital A. So then each doctor will accept the request. Each doctor will accept the request, and then that if all the doctors have accepted or denied the request, then the request will be forwarded to patient. Otherwise, it will be stopped there and then, and the notification will be sent to the hospital B. So this is like one of the main features of the app. The other features are basically the registration of the patient, and making of the patient, etc., and assigning the patient, checking the patient, check out the patient, and etc. We do not have much time to show a demo, but this is the only important feature which we felt is important and to show to you. All right, next. Hardeep, next slide. Okay, so this is the detail level diagram. Next. So basically is to connect the hospitals and together, and I think our target will be the patients and the hospital doctors or the staff. Hardeep, can you explain the money?
Okay, for ad revenue stream, what we do is that our ad revenue stream, we set it via a subscription basis. So based on the number of patients and doctor per hospital, our base package is RM 1,000 for 100 doctors and 200 doctors with 500 records transferred per hospital. Our premium package is RM 2,000 for 300 doctors and 600 patients with unlimited records transfer. For larger subscriptions, we can go by a per doctor and per patient basis with an additional of 50 doctors and 100 patients.
Sorry to interrupt to team remote coders. Unfortunately, the time is out, and now we will let the judges to raise your hand before the Q&A session starts. Any judges would like to give? Okay, Mr. Faisal. Mr. Faisal, could you open your camera?
Hi.
Hi.
I would like to ask is what are the why do you choose blockchain, and what are the options besides non-blockchain solution for your app?
Okay, so nowadays you see our world is going forward to the web 3.0. Web 3.0, right? So the centralized service right now, every hospital has a centralized system. A centralized system can actually be hacked, and even the records can be tampered. Even malicious staff, or malicious staff can tamper with the record, and the records can change, and then maybe this can be a very life-threatening situation for a patient himself, right? So that's why the use of blockchain here is to ensure the security and as well as the authentication of the records, rather than going back to the centralized server and checking back the logs and who tampered it, who came into, etc. So in a blockchain, you cannot tamper the record unless and until you have the maximum majority of the votes in the hospital itself. So it's like this blockchain is a permission blockchain, not a permissionless blockchain, unlike the Bitcoin or anything else. I hope I'm clear.
Okay. Okay. My follow-up question is that I think you haven't got time to explain your business model, right? But I would like to ask what is your operating cost and how you want to manage that?
Okay, so our initial cost is the blockchain setup initial cost will be around RM 10,000 ringgit, because the thing is it has many servers, so that's why the cost will be covered using the advertisements. So we're planning on first doing an advertisement of our app basically, and how can our app be actually more beneficial to the people. So if you see, every hospital in a centralized manner is using a common framework, and that common framework comes from a different company, a single company, singleton company, right? So if we can present our model to that significant company, then we can actually ensure that all the hospitals associated to that company can actually implement our blockchain system. And if this happens, then the other hospitals also will try to be competent in the industry, because we are all very competent, right? Competitive, right? So they do have a thing. So if our app is really good, if our app is really nice, then for sure we can gain exponential growth in the next few years. So our release plan will be basically to test out our app in a small scale hospitals, because you see this blockchain is a very large, very complex thing, right? So we have to test out in a small scale industries, and then using the AI automation, we can automate some tasks of the blockchain, and then we can go forward to implement this blockchain into big hospitals, because big hospitals, they have multiple things which have been automated already. So this is our business model, and then we also have a base package of around 500 ringgit for around 100. Sorry, our base package is 1,000 ringgit for 100 doctors and 200 patient records, basically, with the transfer of 500 records per month. So our premium package then will be around 2,000 ringgit for 300 doctors and 600 patients with unlimited record transfer, between the hospitals. So and then we can also have a large subscription. We can go by a per doctor per patient base as well, where the hospitals can actually pay only what they use. That means like pay per usage, which is actually 50 ringgit per doctor and per patient.
Okay, thank you.
All right.
Thank you, Mr. Faisal. Next, let us invite Mr. J.K.
Good morning.
Morning.
Can you please clarify whether each hospital will host an individual MediChange, or all hospitals will share a single MediChange with multiple peer nodes?
Okay, so in a blockchain there are multiple blocks. Okay, that's why we have a super admin. So the super admin will add the hospital to the blockchain. So blockchain is basically a separate entity. Okay, it has multiple blocks. Okay, and each block represents the hospital, and each hospital is a block. So each block has a different ledger, and a ledger is basically a copy of a database in all the blocks. I hope I'm clear.
Okay, so many is a single blockchain with multiple peer node?
Yes, multiple peer nodes.
Okay, so in this case, may I know what are the data you store inside? I mean, what are the detailed storing methodologies? And also, is all the hospital will share a single smart contract?
Yes. Okay. So for now, our blockchain only has one single smart contract and has one chain code. So a chain code is basically a sub type of smart contract. Basically, one smart contract can have multiple chain codes. Can you go back, 𝗙𝗓𝗓? Can you go back to the slide of the data integration? Go back. Okay. Yeah. So this is our data records which are stored in the blockchain. So the details are the ones, and then the PHR and the EMR. So PHR is basically the diabetic record or the blood type, etc. type. Basically the overall health checkup type. And the EMR is basically the diagnosis and prognosis provided by the doctors. And the common details are basically the details of the name, the full name, the address, phone number, contact, etc. Okay, so this one will be stored in the blockchain. And each hospital will have one smart contract, which is common to all the hospitals for now, at least.
Okay, thanks. Maybe the last questions. Now we back to the real world implementation practicality. How do you think on the acceptance on the healthcare sector on your proposed solutions?
As I mentioned before, right? So every centralized hospital has a framework which they use, right? And that framework comes from a single hospital, right? A single company, sorry. So if we can actually convince our company to use our application instead of to implement our application into their framework. That means make a gateway from their centralized server to our blockchain server. Okay. Then if the company makes this implementation, then the framework of this company used by multiple hospitals will also have to use this implementation as well. So the hospitals will also have to obey this one, right? So if my app is really, our app is really good, then we can actually convince them in this way. And if we convince some of the hospitals, and then the other hospitals may or may not like the app, but then we can also have some advertising techniques to ensure that they do follow us, because the thing is we are very competitive, right? Competitive. So the hospitals will ensure that they have more security than the other hospitals, right? So this is our a business plan to convince the hospitals.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you to Mr. J.K. and team remote coders. All right.
Thank you.
No problem. So time is up, and thankfully all our 5 teams and all the judges have finished out this pitching session without any disruption. Okay. Well, this marks the end of the pitching session today, and we really appreciate the participation of all the teams and the effort of all judges that made up our session today. Let us anticipate the emerge of our top 3 winners in the closing ceremony tomorrow at 8 p.m. Stay tuned.
you.